What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, today I want to talk strictly to you guys, the audience. Yesterday I made the announcement that 2-year-old Wynter Smith body was found in an alley in Detroit, miles away from her Lansing, Michigan home. And it was very upsetting for me to do that short video to announce that. And even though she's gone, the family has a lot of rebuilding to do. I mean, emotional wise, a lot of consoling. I'm sure I speak for you guys directly to the family. You're in our thoughts and prayers. But I want to talk a little bit about some questions that still remain that, guys, they might never get answered. But I was watching yesterday because I was supposed to do a recap on the press conference that was said, but they really didn't say anything, which I thought was strange too. But then again, it's a crime scene. They just still gathering information as we speak right now. So they're not going to give too much out. But one of the things I understood was when the FBI, I don't know if it was the acting FBI person that was in charge, he said that they don't want to give out too many details because it's an active crime scene, number one, and number two, they want to build an adequate profile for the prosecution, meaning, they're not going to let too much out. Plus, this is a child's death, and a lot of America was looking at this, and it's sad. But the first question I have, I think 5 or 6 questions I want to talk about. The first question I want to bring up is Rashad Trice, 26-year-old guy that stabbed the mother, so on and so on. Took this, and he's being held responsible for the death of Wynter. Now, my thing is this: I made videos about him not cooperating while being hospitalized with the police and stuff like that. My question: what advantage did he have by not saying where the baby was at? Think about that. How does that help you in your defense? Because you're getting locked up. I mean, what benefit did it have towards you to not tell where she was at? Now, in this video, guys, I'm just talking. This is not factual. This is me talking to my family, you guys. As if you guys were in the same room with me. And this is just a discussion. By him not talking, because I mean, some stuff just is off here. By him not talking, did he drop her off somewhere? I mean, it's a lot of different ways you can take that. Because I'm saying from a standpoint of a man, you took somebody, they know you took somebody, the police pull up on you and arrest you. She's not with you. So she's either dropped off somewhere, or like they say, I don't like using the word dumped, because they kept saying that yesterday. Oh, her body was dumped in the alley. And I'll get to that in a second. But did he leave the child with somebody? I mean, it's a possibility. Did he act alone? Because, I mean, obviously, somebody in Detroit to drive to that specific area to do that. It's just weird. Like, him not talking and not saying nothing and just sitting up there tight-lipped. What does that say? Hey, I want to cause as much emotional trauma to the family by having them worry, even though I know where the child was. That's the strangest part. What advantage in your court case or anything did you have by not saying nothing? Now, another thing I'm thinking is he dropped that little girl off somewhere in that area, and he was being quiet because he thought eventually she would be picked up. That's where I get from it. Like, hey, like maybe I keep my mouth closed. I ain't gonna say nothing. She'll just pop up, somebody find her wandering around the street or something. I don't know. And we'll never know. If he ain't talking now, he'll never talk. And that leads, me to the second question. I kind of spoiled it with a little bit of what I said about the first question. The second question was, where was this girl killed at? Seriously, where was she killed? Because if you look at the crime scene and how they had the body canopy, like a lot of times when a body's found in the woods or something, they'll put a canopy over it, and isolate the area. So I guess like news choppers can't pick up the body and, people looking out of the window, just the privacy and the respect for the dead. If you look at the way that tent was and where it was located almost on the corner. And it was cocked on an angle to where, it was high bushes and stuff, but it was right there on the corner. I don't know if she died there. And the reason why I say she died, if she died there, is not because in the latest news report, they asked the lady that was out there all day last night. She said, what is the one thing you're noticing that you could tell us nobody else is saying? She said they blocked off a 4-block radius and around this crime scene. And I'm like, okay, that's strange. Because you don't have to find out the distance and which way he went now, because you got the body here right on the corner in the woods, right? In high grass. It was strange to block off all of that. So that makes me think, and this goes back to what I said in question 1, did he drop her off and she wandered? Was she hurt? Did he hurt her before he dropped her off? Because they're trying to find a path or something, because it's just weird. A 2-year-old girl is not going to run around in a 4-block radius unless they know something. That's the second question. The third question is this. Will he be able to plea out? When they have you dead to rights like this, I don't even know if they'll offer him a deal. Will he be forced to go to trial? That's something to really think about. Will they force this man to go to trial? Because they're not going to offer him a deal, because they don't have to. All the facts point to him. He took the child winds up dead. He won't talk. So thus further incriminating himself. Another reason why he might not talk, because somebody else was involved. And a lot of people just like, oh man, that sounds stupid. Besides the facts that we know, he was caught without having a child. Now, the normal common sense thing would say, oh, well, he did something to the baby and then just threw the baby out. But where Wynters' body was found, I don't see nobody with common sense to put a baby on a corner right there, dead. Right there. If you go and look at the news video footage, she's right on the corner. Anybody could have seen her. The way where she's at, and if she was there for 2 days, they would have smelled her. And that's looked like a normal walkway. People would have seen that. So, it's a lot of questions that need to be answered. And here's another question. This is question number 4. And I want you guys to really think about it. And this is something we all thought about and talked about. I still talked about this to this day. He was mad at her, right? Why did he take her child instead of taking his own? Did you really think about that? Why would he take her child and not the child he has from her? Because he does have a 1-year-old child, a little boy from her. But he took 2-year-old Wynter, but he's not the father of. Makes you think. I don't know what the situation is about. Because remember I said, usually dudes that attack other people's kids either don't know about the father or doesn't like the father. Now, this is me just talking. But maybe, I'm not going to say they don't get along, but I've been in scenarios like this, and this is why I'm bringing up. I want you guys to hear me on this. You have children. It's a gnat in here. You have children by somebody, and they wind up having children by another guy. Now, you've been there before. You have kids, but she wound up moving on and having a child by somebody else. A lot of times, you might be doing something for your kid and not do nothing for that kid. And the mother might say something to the point of, almost to where you feel as though you're being compared to another guy. And it might make it to where you have animosity towards him and take it out on his child. I don't know how it is, but I mean, this is a common thing that dudes do. When different guys have kids by the same girl, a lot of times animosity is brought up. A lot of times a woman that has the children might be like, yo, you need to step your game up because this dude is doing this. And it's just something that happens. I don't want to hear nobody's mouth and being upset about it. It does happen. I've witnessed it. I've seen it. I don't know if that was the reason why he attacked the child. Maybe the child looked like the mother too much. Because, the mother's not showing her face and she shouldn't. But if some reason, I mean, if you want to prove a point, it's something with this little girl that he had a problem with, either her or those around her that represented her, that he wanted to strike and prove a point. And that's the part I don't understand. I mean, it's very hard for me to talk about this. This is messed up. That's what, question number 4. Question number 5 is this. He never thought. Why he didn't think? That's one of the things. People get into these blind rages. He didn't think about his future. He never thought about his own kid. What kind of relationship you think you're going to have, Mr. Trice, after word gets out that you killed your son's older sister, and tried to kill his mother? Nobody thinks. Nobody thinks no more. This is a man child. This guy right here, 26 years old. Man body, but a child's mind. I give her credit. She had broke up with him. Another thing I found out, guys, he was a 4-time abuser of this woman, 4-time offender with physical abuse with her. So she tried to get away from him, which I give her all the most credit for. Another thing I don't understand, and I'll bring up this will be another question. It said he had 2 charges of sexual assault that night. Now, I don't know what that means. I mean, I'm thinking it's the R word, but I'm like, what started that? It's just weird that he was charged with that among other charges. So what was the fight over? Man, we got a lot of grown men around here that are like pitching children, throwing tantrums and just going off for nothing. But like I said, man, it's a lot of questions that need to be answered. And we'll probably never get the answers to them because this guy is being belligerent. He ain't saying nothing. He trying to be gangster or whatever. I hope he ready for what happens to people that kill children in jail, because he's going to have hell to pay. Like I said, man, my deepest condolences to the family. I'm sure you wish them the same. And may the baby rest in peace. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel, man. Leave me a comment, man. Tell me what you think about some of the answers to these questions I brought up. It's an unfortunate event, and hopefully they can be successful rebuilding themselves, even though you can't you can't unsee some of the trauma. The mother can't unsee some of the trauma, and you can't forget the unforgettable. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.